boys and girls. Wonderful Wednesday to you. So make sure today that you have your workspace book and your pencil, something to write with. Yesterday we played a lot of games. Hopefully you were able to go over some of those with your teacher in your Teams meeting. So we did equations for equal rows, and we talked about commutative property of flipping those. Yesterday we played where the lines cross capture. We also did a multiplication capture, so we played lots of games yesterday. Okay, so today we're going to connect all the ideas about multiplication that we've learned so far. Okay, so we're going to do that with a circle map. You're going to go ahead and turn to page 48 in your workbook. It has a title of multiplication at the top, and they want us the directions. Go ahead and turn to page 48. You're going to write in your book right along with me. If you don't have your book, use a piece of paper and a pencil. So we are going to complete a web. It's kind of like a circle map. We're going to complete a web with words, numbers, and pictures that represent multiplication. Okay, so they started us off with this, with multiplication in the center. Okay, and then they did addition off the top of that. They also had word problems. Remember, we solved word problems and we wrote our own word problems. So word problems was something we worked on. We did equal rows with our tiles, or drawing our tiles, I should say. We did equal groups with our circles and stars, and Amanda Bean's Amazing Dream, equal groups. And then we wrote equations. Remember, equations have an equal sign in them. Okay. Get my other marker. This one's not as dark as I'd like. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to just make some representations of what each of these mean. I really want that glare gone. Let me see if I turn this light off. Now there's just the computer glare. Hopefully you can see. Let me try to pull it a little bit closer too. Let's see. Okay. All right. So how can let's start out with our addition, because that's what we first started learning. So let's go back to addition and talk about how we can represent that. Okay. So remember, if I had, you're going to add this to your word web right on page 48. So remember, if I had 4 times 3, I could represent that by adding 3 4 times. So that's what we're going to do. 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. Okay, and we're going to add that to our addition, because that's how we represented that. Let's go to equations. All right, so for equations, let me try to move my board over a little bit, or my computer, so you can see. There's quite a few things we're going to write for equations. So I could do, let's go down first. I could just say 6 times 3 equals 18. And then off of that, I can say 18 is the, you guys remember the term for our answer? 18 is the product. Right, that was our vocabulary word for the answer to a multiplication problem. You see that? All right. What are the two numbers we multiply together? 6 and 3 are do you guys remember what that's called? Are the factors of the problem. Factors, those important vocabulary words, the product and factors. Very good. And then we can just say it in words. 6 times 3 equals 18. Okay, make sure you have all that down. Let me move that, zoom this in there so you can see what I wrote. Okay, so 18 is the product, 3 and 6 are factors, and 6 times 3 equals 18. You should have all that written down. Okay? All right, so we're going to do some more with equations. I'm going to go up on the top of that this time. So I'm going to use that 6 times 3 equals 8. No, let's do a different one. Okay, let's do 2 rows. Let's do our lines. Cross where the lines cross. Let's do 2 rows of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And remember, I'm going to circle where they intersect. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I'm just going to circle that. And then I'm going to write the equation for that. And that would be 2 times 5 equals 10. Okay? All right, we'll come over to the other side of our web. And we're going to go off of equal groups now. So let's do a circles and stars. Let's do 4 circles. With 3 stars in each one. Okay, and we're going to write an equation off of that. So that would be 4, you see me way down here? No. 4 times 3 equals 12. Whew, we've got a lot on our board there, or on your paper. Okay, so we still have 2 more. We need to talk about our equal rows, which is what we did with our tiles, and we drew our squares, and then our word problems. I'm gonna get rid of 48 because you should be on that page. Equal rows. So let's say we had 4 rows. Remember, these are rows going across. 4 rows with 5 in each row. You should be making this array 4 rows with 5 in each row. I'm going to show that here, attach it to my equal rows, and then I'm going to write the equation for that, which would be 4 times 5 equals 20. Okay? Go ahead and write that down. And then we're going to go to word problems. And remember, we talked about things in real life. Things that come in groups in real life. All right, so we're going to do, and this one's not so real life because it's monsters, this word problem. All right, I'm going to go up here to the top, and we're going to write, there are, let's see, 5 monsters. There's 5 monsters. Each has 3 arms. How many arms in all? Okay, and I'm going to attach that to my word problems. And then I'm going to write the equation for that. 5 times 3 equals 15 arms in all. Wow. look at that multiplication web. We've done a lot of work in just under 3 weeks. Holy cow, it's a lot of work. Okay, awesome. Okay, so at the bottom it says, explain your ideas about multiplication in complete sentences. So you're going to go ahead and write, taking everything you know off of here, using your web, and creating those sentences down there. So you could say something like, the two numbers I multiply together are called factors. The total of two factors, of multiplying two factors, is the product. You could say something like, representing the factors in equal rows helps me represent the problem. You could say it in equal groups. You could say where the lines cross. You could talk about word problems and the structure of our word problem that we've been working on. Write about any of those kinds of things. Take it right off the web, and you're going to write in complete sentences what you noticed about multiplication, okay? Okay, and we are going to play, we're going to learn two games. We're going to play 2 games today. We're going to play Tiles Capture, which is a new game. Tiles Capture is a new game. And then we've already played Multiplication Capture, but you're going to be doing that again too. All right, so let's talk about Tiles Capture. Okay, I'm going to erase this now. Hopefully you have that down. If not, you can always rewind the video. All right, so Tiles Capture, again, if you were in the classroom, when we ever go back to the classroom, you'll have the tiles there and the tile capture cards. So let me talk to you about those. Oops, I dropped my cap. Okay. So look at page 49 with me, and you'll see the game rules for Tiles Capture. What you need workspace page 50, which is the next page. That's where you're just going to recording all your work, okay? Or a blank sheet of paper. Again, if you were in the classroom, you would have these tile capture cards that I have right here, and then you'd have tiles if you needed. You wouldn't really need them with this. All right. Again, there's 3 steps to each turn. You've got player A and player B. Each player flips over a card. You deal each player 9 cards. Each player flips over a card. You figure out what the problems are on the card, and remember, we're going to turn them too, so we get that commutative property. Okay, so in that one they did a 3 times 3 equals 9. And player B has 4 times 2 equals 8, or 2 times 4 equals 8. The larger player wins the cards. Why do you think in step 2 on that page that the 3 by 3, let me see if I can find a 3 by 3, that the 3 by 3 tile arrangement only has 1 equation written? Think about that for a minute. This picture right here. Why did they only write 1 equation instead of the commutative property and the 2 equations for that? What do you think? Here I have 3 rows with 3 in each row. Here I have 3 rows with 3 in each row. So it's the same equation. You don't need to write it twice. It's the same equation, okay? So if the factors are the same, you only need to write 1 equation. So 3 times 3 equals 9. 2 times 2 equals 4. It wouldn't matter. Let me see if I have a 2 by 2. Let me see some other ones. So if the factors are the same, you only need to write 1 equation. Here's a 4 by 4. 4 by 4 is 16. Oops, 4 by 4 is 16. Same thing, okay? So you'd only need to write 1 equation. Let me see if I can find some others to show you. 5 by 5 equals 25. It'd be the same equation, 5 by 5 equals 25. Okay? So, if, oops, here's another one. 6 by 6 equals 36. 6 by 6 equals 36. Doesn't change. All right. So, they want you writing both equations, and if the products are the same, you turn over another card, just like you would if you've ever played War with cards. So if you get the same, then you keep, if they're equal, then you keep flipping. All right, and the player who has the most cards wins. Okay, so that's tiles capture, and you're going to record that, your equations, on page 50. Again, I'm going to show you how to do this digitally as soon as I'm done here. And then you're also going to practice by playing some more multiplication capture. No, we did that. Was it yesterday we did that? No, we did it the day before maybe. I don't know. All right. But remember, that would just be just the straight up expressions that you're playing the same exact way. And you're just going to record that in your handy dandy book. All right, so I'm just going to show you how to do that digitally. You need to have those filled out for your teachers, page 50 and 51, to meet with your teachers on Teams today. All right, so I'm going to show you how to do it digitally, and I will see you tomorrow. All right, so we're learning a new game today, tiles capture. I've already logged in. We're in between lessons 21 and 25, and I'm going right back to that practicing multiplication with capture games, because we're going to do tiles capture today. All right, so I'm going to click on capture games, and here's our tiles capture. So I'm going to open that up. So now, same as the other capture games we've been playing. It's the card, player A versus player B. I just flip the cards over, and now I'm looking at arrays with tiles, okay? So in this one, I have a 5 by 4 array. 5 by 4 is 20. This one's a 3 by 1. 3 times 1 is 3. So obviously player A won this one. Remember too, so this was a 5 by 4, that they want you writing this 2 different ways. I'll get to that at the very end, because sometimes my screen freezes when I do that. All right, so that is a 5 by 5 array. That makes a square. That equals 25. Here I've got a 4 by 2, which is 8. Player A won those cards again. And of course, it keeps track down here for you. Here I've got a 2 by 4 array. 2 times 4 equals 8. Here I have a 5 by 2, which equals 10. 10 is greater than 8, so player B won those. So if I wanted to write this using the commutative property, I would take my pencil here. First I'm going to write it by rows. 2 by times 4 equals a product of 8. It's the curvy numbers I really have a problem with. Okay, and then I can flip those factors around and write it in the commutative property with 4 times 2 equals, oops, nope, that's a less sign. Let me erase that. This pizza's not so great with her writing today. So you can just go in and erase if you make a mistake. You just need to write these in your books, but you are more than welcome to write them on here too. And that equals also a product of 8. Okay, and then you'll just keep playing and recording in your workspace book. Have fun, enjoy. Make sure you get that down in your workspace book so you can talk with your teachers about it on your Teams meeting today. All right, boys and girls, have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow.